Minecraft is a pretty simple game to say the least. Punch trees, mine rock and crystals, make armor and tools, explore and repeat. But for fans of RPG games or fantasy, there's mods out there that unlock a different side and theme to Minecraft. More specifically, mods that bring magic and wizards and witches to the game. Roots. The Roots mod is all about natural magic and how it's embedded into the world. In the Roots mod you explore the world and find the sources of magic rooted within it in order to learn brand new cool spells and things to do. You can find herbs, spells and rituals and things to bring you more power in the game and help you through utility options. First you have to craft a guide called the Druidic Arts book, which gives you everything you need to learn to begin learning magic, with the chapters of this book being unlocked based upon your progression in the advancement system of the mod. So the more things that you discover and the more advancements you get, the more chapters which unlock in the book and the more that you can progress on through the mod. The book guides the player on how to craft all of the basics in this mod. You can learn utility spells to assist with things in the game, as well as protection and offensive spells for damaging enemies. There's rituals that change the world and the blocks around you, living tools that repair by themselves, and the mod is fully integrated into just enough items to show all item recipes and mob drops. This mod is great for anyone who likes the natural side of magic or who likes druids. AbyssalCraft. An exploration mod that focuses on magic inspired upon the fictional works of H.P. Lovecraft and his novels. The AbyssalCraft mod adds 4 brand new dimensions, which are the Abyssal Wastelands, the Dreadlands, Omathol and the Dark Realm. 3 of these dimensions can be accessed via gateway keys which create a portal wormhole when used. Each of these individual dimensions have custom mobs and precious ores underground, and the atmospheres and surroundings are all completely different from each other. There's also brand new biomes to the overworld, which are the Darklands, which is a purple themed set of biomes, and the Corallium infested swamp, which is a liquid style turquoise biome with zombies in it. The first step is to craft a magic book known as the Necronomicon, which is a book with most of the information you need to progress in the mod. Then the player must craft one of the gateway keys to enter the dimensions to get brand new armor and tools in the mod. It's pretty huge and there's simply too many features which I can actually cover in such a small list video, but it's definitely one of the best magic mods out there in terms of the amount of content which it actually adds. Electroblob's Wizardry. The Wizardry mod is included in this list because it doesn't overcomplicate the game by adding far too many recipes or instructions. In fact, you naturally advance within this mod through fighting mobs and exploring the world. You can find wands, spells and scrolls as you embark on your adventure, and there are wizards in towers that sell magical items for you to acquire. You can explore ancient ruins across the overworld to find extremely valuable and powerful artifacts. In the mod there's a collection of 172 spells inside it right now. Perhaps you're seeing the pattern here. Like most magical mods, first you'll actually need a magical book to start using all the spells. You can get this from finding a magical crystal to craft a wizard's handbook to begin your wizard journey. Apotheosis. This mod focuses on power and additions to Minecraft that should be in vanilla. There are new options, enchantments and things to beware of, and it increases the playability of the game. There's many different changes in the mod, including an enchantment module that overhauls the standard enchantment system in the game by adding completely new ores, making enchanted weapons and armor far more powerful than they are in the standard game. This mod also changes the enchanting table and anvil level caps, allowing to enchant things much further and use more of your XP levels. The mod has a main heavy focus on purely expanding what's already in the game already by overhauling the systems already in place to make them much better. It has a main focus on enchantments and improving them, although it expands other content in the game as well, such as villagers by giving the wandering traveller more trades and modifying his spawn rates, for an example. Reliquary. Reliquary adds a new array of blocks and items of magical value that makes your life much easier. There's the Coin of Fortune, which teleports items and XP to you like a magnet, the Hunter's Handgun that can have target seeking ammo, Infernal Chalice that stores lava and prevents lava damage to you, the Interdiction Torch that pushes back mobs in its area of effect, the Lily Pad of Fertility that promotes growth of nearby crops to make them grow faster, the Nyan Zeus that causes mobs to ignore the player, the Sojourner Staff that holds stacks of torches to be placed down easier, the Void Tier that holds large stacks of items, and finally the Witherless Rose that prevents the player from being withered if it's equipped in your inventory. There's also a new pedestal block that's a really nice looking way of displaying items in your base, but it also has different functions that can actually be activated depending what items are put on them. For an example, if you have a special sword on it, it might do damage around it. ProjectE. A complete remake and rewrite of the original mod Equivalent Exchange 2, ProjectE is a magic mod that adds a whole set of different features to the game, and even though it takes number 5 in this video, it's my personal favourite mod on this list. It allows you to transmute materials into others and brings a set of new items and machines to the game. There's a new system added in this mod called EMC, which means Energy Mass Currency, which is used by the machines and contraptions in this mod. Each item in the game has a different EMC value, which determines how much it is worth in the game to be used in the powerful devices and effects that the mod adds. This mod adds brand new alchemical tools, items and devices that use the EMC data to create new items. There's powerful new gem armor made from materials known as dark matter and red matter, which are the most powerful ingredients in the mod and pretty hard to make. There's flying rings that let you fly across the world and levitate in survival mode, transmutation tablets to convert blocks and other rings and trinkets. My personal favourite addition in the mod though is the condenser block, which is kind of like a chest and it's crafted by making it from an alchemical chest, which can be upgraded, and it uses EMC to actually duplicate items. You put an item in that you want to duplicate, but then you also put a set of items that you want to get rid of and basically burn to create the amount of EMC you need to duplicate the item. It's pretty confusing, but each item has a specific EMC value which it needs to actually be duplicated. So the machine requires this amount from other items you put in to duplicate the input item. Like I said, it's a pretty complex system, but once you learn this mod, this is perhaps one of the best mods to add to your technology or magical mod pack. Blood Magic. If you ever wanted to wield the powerful dark blood magic in Minecraft that you may have seen from other RPG games such as Skyrim, then this is the mod to add that exactly to the game. You can conjure sigils, orbs and runes to perform ancient blood rituals to create power for your own. The mod utilizes a life system to create magic through summoning rituals and alchemical spell creation mechanics. Through the blood magic mod, you basically use your life essence by giving up your own health hearts in the game or the health of mobs which you spawn or capture to actually create power for yourself. Basically, you use the life of yourself and the mobs around you to become more and more powerful in this mod. So there's power, but also a downside to using that power, so it adds more balance to the system. There's the blood altar and many different sigils to use in the rituals and more. Using items called soul snares that you throw at enemies, you can actually snare enemies and earn demonic will, which will be granted from the enemies affected by these items. This will is then used to create the blood altar to start out in the mod. Thaumcraft. One of the most well-known mods, Thaumcraft lets you use magic around you to create magnificent items and perform different magical tasks. The mod adds a pretty diverse collection of blocks and magical items that can be utilized in your world. The whole idea of the mod is to draw magic from physical objects already in your world to perform miracles of magic. So similar to the blood magic mod, the magic has to actually come from somewhere instead of just coming out of thin air, making it slightly more believable and just a better system overall. To begin in this mod, you must first craft a wand and use it on a bookshelf, which will grant an item called the Thaumonomicon, which is a guidebook to everything in the mod. This mod is an extremely popular one that I'm sure you've already heard of at some point, as it's the primary magic mod to be used in a lot of Minecraft mod packs out there. Waystones. The Waystones mod is a pretty simple mod that adds a means of teleportation to Minecraft. If you've played the popular mod pack RLCraft, then you may be familiar with these blocks. The Waystones are large stone statues added to the world that can be visited and activated, inspired by a lot of MMORPG games. When each is activated, they are basically linked together and can be travelled to via scrolls or other Waystones in the mod. They can be crafted in survival mode as nodes to teleport between each other, and there's also other items called return scrolls and also warp stones that work in different ways, but they let you travel to the Waystones too. It's a pretty simple system, but it's a really nice addition to your modern Minecraft experience if you want to get around in a magical way. Botania. Another mod focusing upon natural magic in the world, the Botania mod is a magic tech mod, so it basically blends the tech theme and the magic theme together, and it adds a nice range of features to the game. The purpose of the Botania mod is to use the flora around you to create magic, by creating magical flowers and devices that use the power of the earth to create magic through mana. Most of the procedures in the mod through the machines and devices can be fully automated to create power, and it aims to deliver a balanced and fun gameplay experience that's also immersive. The mod is playable in a standalone fashion and it doesn't need to be played with other mods, but it's a nice addition for any mod pack or to be used alongside other magical mods, especially the ones in this list, simultaneously for the best experience. There's a total of 60 new flowers which are either used for both decoration or crafting and dyeing of objects. The book in the mod is called the Lexica Botania, which is a magical compendium book that has all the knowledge about the mod's crafting and teachings inside that makes learning it much easier. There are literally hundreds of blocks and items added in Botania, meaning there's many hours of gameplay to achieve the end game in this mod, and it won't leave you bored for a very long time. Archmagus. If spellbooks are of interest to you, then prepare for a mod that adds many more. If you want to be an immensely strong archmage, then this mod will let you lay waste to your foes with magic like fireballs or summoning and even teleportation. It's limitless. Age of Exile. If you've played games of the likes of Diablo or Path of Exile, then you probably already got the hint what this mod is based upon and inspired by. This mod was coded to bring a new gear progression system to Minecraft that's designed to be much more challenging and more interesting than the standard system in the game already that most of us are probably a little bit bored of by now. You can kill mobs to level up, attain brand new spells and upgrade your gear sets with Diablo-like loot. You can customize your player's magic by choosing between different advancement tiers in multiple schools of magic categories to craft your path in the game. The majority of the features in this mod utilize data packs, meaning they are very configurable and it's easy to make new unique gear or change titles for the items. Path of Exile is a pretty popular game over on Steam and fans seem to love it for its great looting system and action, so it's no wonder why the creator wanted this all in Minecraft. Throughout your playthrough you'll collect new gems and runes which you can socket into your gear just like you do in World of Warcraft to upgrade it. You'll find better items by plundering the dungeon chests which are in game. Wards. You may be familiar with wards from MOBA games like League of Legends, where you use them on the map to gain vision of your surrounding areas. The Minecraft Wards mod lets you utilize unused enchantment books sitting in your chests or inventory in order to use them for special little useful effects. The ward block uses these enchantments to project them across a surrounding area, warding it in an area of effect, and in turn providing buffs to the player or damaging mobs for an example. This is a cool, nice little idea which blends an element from RPG and arena games into Minecraft, which I really like. It'd be a cool thing to use this to guard the outside of your base with, or to make yourself just that little bit stronger in a given zone. Ars Magica 2. With a hint of magic, this is what Minecraft could be. The saying, "this could be us, but you're playing," is pretty fitting in this circumstance. This is a mod themed around the idea of casting powerful magical spells, defeating tough new bosses, and just playing around with your new powers. I mean, you can even create any spell your imagination desires with the unique spell creation system that this mod introduces. How cool is that? To begin, you must seek out a pool of liquid essence, followed by placing an item frame in close proximity with a book in its frame. This process will grant the player the Arcane Compendium, which grants you everything that you need in order to progress, teaching you about guides to crafting or obtaining items or seeking out the structures and bosses. The next step is to create an Oculus and a crafting altar. The Oculus lets us choose spell components in an unlockable skill tree, and the crafting altar lets us physically manifest these into craftable spells. After this, you must level up skill points for each spell part in the system, gained by unlocking XP via casting spells for an example. There's so many types of spells in this mod. Most of the mobs which are added in it, to both the overworld and the nether, are mostly hostile and pretty hard to kill, not to mention the aforementioned tough bosses that you can summon into the world, which are different types of elemental guardians, which are recommended to be defeated at different levels of progression. This is based on your spell level in game. Wizardry Mod. Not to be confused with Electroblob's Wizardry, which is a similar different mod which I featured in part 1 if you want to check out that video in the description. The Wizardry mod is a completely different mod, but it has its own merits and it's a really great one. You're a wizard, Harry, or maybe not yet at least. If you're interested in becoming the next Gandalf or Dumbledore, then the Wizardry mod is probably a good start to do so. You probably want power and you probably want some funky new spells to toy around with to control the world around you. With this mod you can take your first steps to becoming a powerful wizard by studying the teachings from his book and mastering the arts. Firstly, you must obtain the Spellforger's Codex to learn teachings of the wizards. To start out, you must craft a standard Minecraft vanilla book from paper and then cast it into a naturally generated mana pool in your world in order to get things moving. This mod introduces an RPG style spell system, like a few mods on this list do, that's simple to progress in, easy to find spells and spellbooks and cast them, and it's generally just interesting. There's so many different features and magical orientated things in this mod that I can't cover in such a short form video, but I'd really recommend trying it out. Witchery. We've covered being a wizard, but Minecraft already has witches in the game, so why not become one? Or at least empower yourself with their knowledge. This mod brings the world of witchcraft into Minecraft, from cauldrons to broomsticks, rituals, strange magic brews with a touch of necromancy and voodoo. You'll be dabbling in the dark arts in this one for some extra power. Learn to control nature around you and harness its magic by exploring different tiers of witchcraft. You develop a witch's garden, a well-tended area for ingredients from interesting plants that can be used for your magic spells. You can use lighter forms of magic or utilize darker sides that will make you much more powerful a lot quicker, but may have some consequences. You can make brews with a kettle, make puppets and voodoo dolls to toy with your enemies, enter a dream weaving and spirit world set of dimensions, empower yourself using circle magic and by partaking in special rituals, go down the rabbit hole of necromancy or demonology to harness what's around you, utilize dimensional infusions and mutations, summon familiars which are special animals to aid you, or even form a special witch's coven, because more is better than one. You can even become a werewolf or a vampire if you want to take things to the next level. There's brand new mobs, plants and also plant-based mobs in this mod too. It's a really extensive mod and definitely one that needed to be covered here. Druidcraft. If you love playing druids in RPG games, or the idea of nature and spirituality is in you in some way, then the Druidcraft mod might coincide with these likes. This druid themed mod has the following features: a set of high level bone based tools and weapons along with an armor set, industrial plants that grow 2 blocks high that can be used to craft ropes, new tree types which are called Darkwood which spawn in a brand new forest biome, 4 brand new ores which are Moonstone, Amber, Rockroot and Fiery Glass, which we'll also cover a little bit later. Decorative wood pieces, such as beams and wooden panels which complement your builds. Hostile beetle mobs that are dangerous to the player and also tameable. Dreadfish, which are skeletal ghost fish that glow in the dark and can be tamed with prismarine crystals. Mud bricks for easy early game building of mud houses. Sickles to clear out grass in large scale areas. Soulfire, which is from Dreadfish and is a harvestable light source. Fiery torches made using the fiery glass which we mentioned, that's much brighter and also waterproof versions of torches. There's Moonstone and Chitin armor which are made from both Moonstone ore, which is better than diamond, and also from Chitin which is dropped from beetles for iron or diamond tier protection. There's Fiery Glass, brand new lantern types to illuminate your homes, lunar moths that randomly spawn in the world that you can then catch in bottles, ropes to connect blocks together and to climb up on, elder trees which grow additional fruits and flowers on them, blueberries for food, lavender flowers, all brand new food types, and crates which also function like barrels and can be used for storage. Sure, this is a really tiring long list of features, but this mod is really extensive and it focuses on natural resources and interesting mobs and ores to progress in the game. Bewitchment. If you're a fan of the Witchery mod that I featured previously on this list, then the Bewitchment mod will be worthy of you trying too. This mod has a purpose of being a spiritual successor of sorts for the Witchery mod. Basically, this mod allows you to create demonic pacts with demons, vampires, werewolves and ghosts, and other magical type things that you'd expect from witches. The reason why I really like this mod is because of the high quality of a lot of the content within it. For an example, a lot of the mobs have really great 3D models, complemented centered with the nice textures that make them look awesome, and it makes for a really cool fantasy mod. To get a kickstart in the mod, you'll need to craft a Book of Shadows by using a standard book with mandrake roots, black dye and hellebore flowers, which will then give you additional information on where to go in the mod. There's a lot of cool features in this one, like flying broomsticks, summonable demons, awesome mobs like creatures and monsters, and a whole lot of spell-based things that you can learn and read into. The developer of this mod is constantly adding brand new mobs and really cool features. If you check out his Twitter account, he regularly posts really interesting updates for the mod. Embers Rekindled. In the Elder Scrolls games, there's a large underlying theme of dwarven technology and magic, and that's exactly what the Embers Rekindled mod reminds me of. Basically, this mod is a dwarven magic mod that aims to add an array of magical content crossed with technical content, making it a unique matchmaker. With features like ore doubling, item transport, alchemy, or even magic ray guns, this mod is super interesting and unique. It has a focus around a material called Ember, which is a form of power which you can extract from the world at its core near bedrock. You can then use this as a limited power source to progress in the mod. There's a lot of content in this, from special anvils to magical rings and really interesting machines. It's not your average tech mod, and the fact that it blends both tech and magic together makes it worth checking out. There's a lot of tech and magic blended mod packs, but not really many mods that pull this off well. The Disenchanter Mod. If you've ever played any kind of MMORPG game, you might be familiar with the process of disenchanting items to exchange them for something else. Usually in a game such as World of Warcraft, you could disenchant an item like a weapon or piece of armor and receive some kind of enchantment dust in exchange for it. This feature is now in Minecraft through the use of the Disenchanter mod, which lets you get good enchantments from your items, especially those wasteful gold swords or armor pieces that have terrible durability that you'll probably never use. This mod offers a new block called the Disenchanting Table, which is crafted pretty easily through the use of an enchantment table from vanilla Minecraft, and it basically just has the same appearance, but it has a yellow cover rather than a red one like its polar opposite. You can then place your item to disenchant in the table along with a book if necessary in order to receive the enchantment taken from the original. It's a nice system so you don't have to waste all of those enchanted items or useless lower tiered gear pieces that you no longer have use for. Hexerei. Delve into the magical world through the concoction of mystical items within your mixing cauldron. You can store items in coffers to carry around with you, store herbs and greenery items within herb jars for storage up to 1024, light up your area with coloured candles that melt over a period of time, and more. The mod adds a biome called the Willow Swamp, which is littered with willow trees, custom new witch hut structures, and some of the different flowers added by the mod that will only spawn in a swamp type biome, the new one and the vanilla one, or any other added by mods. New mahogany trees also will spawn within jungles which can be collected. This mod teaches you to learn, craft, and blend certain items before you get your power. Nothing is instant here. You can use some really cool things like 3D witch suits, wands, or flying brooms. Forbidden and Arcanus. Adding a bunch of new blocks, items, and other magical themed features to Minecraft, this mod makes your world more mysterious and mythical and mystical through adding magical themed trinkets and similar items. Some of these trinkets offer special abilities and they appear like Terraria style accessories. The 5 new armors in the mod look really nice too, some looking like standard steel and others as dark black or obsidian looking sets, and one like an obsidian magma armor set. Although there's also a few individual armor pieces that are like artifacts which have special abilities, like offering mega protection or being super unbreakable. Super weapons like the dark arcane scepter that strikes lightning using blades powder can also be crafted or accessed for additional power. The mod also has a few different uses for rotten flesh, making it far less useful than it normally is. Eidalon. This magic mod draws upon many inspirations, having a basis upon alchemy and theurgy. Taking a dark perspective, it has mechanics themed around necromancy and the manipulation of souls, letting you roleplay as a dark mage who performs strange rituals and communicates with dark gods. First, you must use rotten flesh and a book to craft the Ars Magica, a guidebook containing documentation of all of the mod's features as well as its crafting recipes. Using shards of pure energy, you can use a brazier to activate powerful rituals, letting you create brand new items, summon monsters, or ward huge areas from hostile mobs. If you construct an altar player, you can pray to the Dark Lord to perform sacrifices and improve your reputation with them, promoting them to share their knowledge and grant you new abilities. This altar can also be upgraded. The Crucible block lets you perform alchemy to tinker with magical items. You can use the soul shards and the other ingredients and choose from a large range of magical weapons, tools, armor, and curios. Reliquary. This mod brings a collection of magical themed items and blocks that are challenging to obtain and acquire, but make your life a lot easier due to different reasons. Some example items are the Coin of Fortune that will teleport items and experience to the player just like a magnet, the Hunter's Handgun that can be loaded with various shots like ones that seek targets or explode creepers, the Infernal Chalice that is a portable lava storage piece, Interdiction Torch that pushes mobs away within its radius, Lily Pad of Fertility which increases nearby crop growth, the Nyan Zeus which makes mobs ignore the player, Sojourner's Staff which holds multiple stacks of torches to place them in the world, Voitia that can hold stacks of other items, and the Witherless Rose which prevents players being withered who carry it. You can use the pedestal item as a fancy way of displaying such items in your base, serving as a visual piece but also as a functional one, depending what's actually emplaced upon it. The Tome of Alchemy is an item that allows for duplication for a cost of its charge, and the potion system lets you create different types of custom potions using basic ingredients like potatoes or expensive ones like nether stars. Magic Combat Wands. This simple little mod adds some magic wands to the game which you can wield in battle to damage enemies and foes and become a wizard. These wands are made with 4 sticks and a main material which is based off of a range of 6 different vanilla wands: wood, cobblestone, iron, gold, diamond, and also netherite, which is made by upgrading a diamond wand in an upgrade table. You can enchant these wands with 4 different vanilla enchants, this being power, looting, unbreaking, or mending, making them more useful than just being for general damage. The 3 new enchantments can also be applied to the wands. These are Magic Wind for increased projectile speed, Concentration for better accuracy, and Thrifty, which is just like Infinity but with a 50% chance of triggering. These work in a similar way to bows. You just hold down right click and you release to fire the magic projectile. They're pretty simple in their concept. Arcanus. Inspired by Windcraft and Electroblob's Wizardry, this mod introduces a new magic system along with all new trinkets, some brand new threats, and a series of structures. You must find a spell book, which you can read to learn that given spell, letting you now cast it and use both mouse buttons to create a pattern outlined within the book. Occultism. Using the help of summoned spirits or demons from the other side, you can have help in your adventures. The mod features a ritual-based magical system which is centered around the idea of summonable spirits that will allow for the automation of various tasks, the storage of vast numbers of items, the ability for demons to mine in void dimensions, the creation of powerful tools and jewelry, and support from your familiars, for instance. First, you must craft the in-game guide, being the Dictionary of Secrets, to discover the secrets of the spirit world and use the otherworld groves hidden in plain sight by gaining the 3rd eye to then summon your first spirit. To get this book, you have to break grass until the demon's dream seeds drop, which can be crafted with a book to then make the dictionary item. There are a whole lot of features in this mod, and the creatures and the familiars within really look amazing. Mana and Artifice. Serving as the spiritual successor to the previous Ars Magica 2, this mod is a fresh new take upon magic mods. With this mod, you have a lot more control over all of the aspects and choices which actually go into your spells, with familiar shapes, components, and modifiers returning, but having a bigger focus on balance and stability. The interface of the mod is very nice, having a fantasy graphical interactive display that still somewhat feels like Minecraft. Through rituals, you can perform longer lasting magical effects that are more powerful. This is a way that requires a longer setup and more preparation, but you can do fun things like making portals to travel far away, controlling time and weather, teleporting to and from players, or forging alliances. Enchanting is more fun and rewarding, choosing which enchantment that you actually receive. Using an arcane furnace, you hammer out a rune on a mystical anvil, infuse your own mana into it, and process the enchantment all yourself. With mana weaving, you can draw magical patterns in the air for an array of powerful magical effects, using a special wand to weave new magical forms. You can join forces with ancient wizards, nether demons, or fairies to broker alliances. The Oculus block, a beginner block, is a useful one that has an interface which shows guided progression through the mod, showing you the progression system through a series of tiers helping you along the way. You can also use the Codex Arcana book. This allows you to follow it to gain more information on what you can actually do next. My personal favourite feature is constructing an army of constructs to automate tasks for you, like refilling furnaces for an example. There's really so much in this mod that you can do. Mahou Tsukai. This magic mod mainly focuses upon the uniqueness of spells and their special effects, rather than how they're actually created as a lot of other mods do. A lot of the spells featured here share similar concepts to some other media, but they offer a few general goals: to avoid competing with vanilla or other mods, avoid spells which are too similar with other mod spells, i.e. trying to remain unique, and no world gen other than a custom dimension, but meaning no features are gated behind any kind of custom world gen. The Mahou Tsukai Knowledge Compendium is the book that you craft out of red dye, leather and paper, which functions as an in-game guidebook to view information on the mod, as with most other magic mods allow for. Ars Nouveau. This magic mod allows you to craft your very own spells, create magical artifacts, and perform unique rituals and many more things. You can begin with this mod through crafting the worn notebook item from a book and one mana gem. The reason this mod is so special is the introduction of custom spellcrafting, which lets you build your own spells to fit your personal needs anywhere. The crafting of powerful new baubles and trinkets and the ability to power magical machines is super cool too, not to mention letting you automate certain processes within your base through magical servants who are completely loyal to you. There are also a few different mage style robes which are used as an armor set, and some really attractive looking items and utilities which are allowed to be equipable. And that's going to conclude this list of the top magic mods to download right now. Make sure to like the video and subscribe for more Minecraft mod videos just like this one. Thanks for watching.